Come on. I love it. I found these all natural fiber pillows at IKEA, and I decided that I wanted to make my own custom covers for them. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to sew a super easy custom pillowcase cover that fits an IKEA pillow. Now the size of this pillow is 16 by 23 inches. It's a rectangle. When you open it, you get something that looks like this. Here is my first finished pillow cover for this shape of pillow. And the way it works is that there is an opening in the back that you can slide your pillow into. And it's super easy to take this cover off and toss it in the wash. So let me walk you through what you need. The pillow cover can be made from 1 yard of fabric. I am working with a heavier weight cotton canvas, and I will link to the Etsy shop where I got this fabric. I love it because it's sturdy enough for upholstery material, but there are no synthetics in it. So whenever I wash it, I won't be releasing any microplastics. And at the very end of its life, it can be composted, which I love. The measurements for how to cut the fabric are in the description box underneath this video, so you can just click down below, but I will also share them here. So the front part of the pillow measures 21 inches wide and 14 inches tall. The back part of the pillow, this is the part that has the little opening you can slide your pillow in and out of. Mine has a lovely wrinkle in it right now. I'm not sure why, but that part is made up of 2 pieces of fabric that are both also 21 inches wide, but they're only 12 inches tall. So they're a little bit taller than the front, a little bit shorter than the front piece, because we want to be able to slide the pillow in and out. The other part of this project, of course, is the pillow. This is not an ad for IKEA, but I do want to say I love this pillow because it's made with a cotton exterior and 100% down feather interior. So there's no synthetics, and it smells really good. I don't know, I like the smell of down. And these are washable, and ultimately you can compost them at the very end of their life if you have to. All right, this, like I mentioned, it's 16 inches tall, 23 inches wide, or 40 by 58 centimeters. You can get these online and they're pretty affordable. So let me show you the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to actually hem one side on each of the back panels of the pillow cover. Now this print doesn't really have a top or bottom, but if you have a print with a top or a bottom, you want to hem the bottom edge of the top piece, and you want to hem the top edge of the bottom piece. Okay, so the way we're going to do that, it's really simple. We are going to fold and iron the top edge on one and the bottom edge on the other. I have my little ironing mat, and my iron should be hot. So we'll just start with this piece, and I'm going to flip the fabric so that I'm looking at the wrong side. And then I have my little hemming ruler, so I'm going to fold over the edge a 1/2 inch, and this little hemming ruler has a little indicator to help me easily find the 1/2 inch mark. So I'm going to fold it over at a 1/2 inch and iron. And I'm going to try not to burn myself. And I'm just going to keep folding over this edge. And I can check the height every now and then. Looks good. Okay, this edge is finished being folded and ironed. So now I am going to fold it again. So again, another 1/2 inch. And again, I am going to press. Okay, I finished ironing both of the edges on the back panels. So now we're going to go over to the machine and we're just going to do a super quick seam to keep these in place. So I'm just sliding the folded edge under my presser foot here. And I am going to sew with about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to go forward. Oh, let me change my stitch length here. Forward a little bit and then back a little bit. All the way down. Okay, I've got both of the edges hemmed here, one top, one bottom. Now it's time to put these pieces together with the top piece. And if there's a direction to your print, you want to make sure to line that up with your back and front so that everything is going the correct way. But in this case, there isn't. So let me show you how to piece it together. It's very simple. The top piece goes down first with the right side facing up. Then you want to pull your piece that has the bottom edge hemmed and put that right side to right side on your top piece or your front piece for your pillow. And you really want to line up the top and the side edges. Okay, when the first piece is lined up on the edge here, I am going to go ahead and pin just the top edge together so that I'm pinning the back to the front along the top edges just so it doesn't move around on me. And now I'm going to take the bottom piece and I want the folded edge to go up towards the top, and I want the pretty side of this fabric to face what's already on my table. So I'm just placing it right on top. So I'm looking at the back. And again, I'm going to line up the bottom and the sides for this piece and pin. And then I can pin the sides too. And then I can sew. Woohoo! This is a super fast project, and it's a super sweet way to make your home your own. You could use just about any fabric you want for these pillow covers. You could even use like a sentimental fabric from a loved one's clothes or something to create your own pillow cover. I think that's a really cool thing to do. Okay, it's pinned, so now we're going to go to the machine and we are going to sew. I'm switching to a darker thread so that you can see this part of the project. I used a lighter thread for the first part because that seam is visible, at least one of them. But for the inside of the pillow, no one can see this thread. So I'm going to use a darker one so you can kind of see what I'm doing, which is nice. All right, so I got a darker thread in there. Now I am going to just sew around all 4 sides. I'm going to use a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I am going to do a back stitch at the beginning and at the end. And I'm also going to reinforce these seams. So I'm going to go over them, get my tomato, and then I'm going to reverse. And then I'm going to go over them again. And I'm going to do that again for this hem. And I want to make sure it's fairly straight here. So over and then reverse.
Cool.
And then I'm just going to go all the way around. All right, I'm almost finished. And the last thing to do is I am going to actually trim off these little corners so that I can get pointier tips on my pillow when I turn this whole thing right side out. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I am going to sew over all these raw edges with a zigzag stitch. And that is because I plan to wash these pillow covers frequently. If you don't imagine that you'll need to wash them frequently, you could skip this part, or you could use some pinking shears to cut along the raw edge, and that'll reduce fraying when you wash it. But if you think you're going to be washing this, I would strongly recommend zigzag stitch, or if you have a serger, obviously you could serge the raw edges. Now, if you've seen my videos before, you know I'm going to save these tiny bits in my tiny bits bin, and these can be repurposed for different creative projects. They can also be composted if you use all natural fibers, so save your little bits. All right, let's go back to the machine and do a zigzag stitch. All right, at my machine, I am going to put my machine on zigzag stitch, and I'm actually going to widen the stitch width, and I'm going to lengthen the stitch length, but you could use the defaults. It is a little bit easier with a wider stitch length to catch the raw edge accurately. And the way to sew is just, you're trying to go just off the fabric and back on again with your stitches. So here we go. Okay, the zigzag stitch is finished. So all that's left to do is to turn the pillow cover right side out. And you might want a chopstick for turning it right side out. And you'll probably want to trim loose threads. As much as I love this fabric, it does have a fair amount of loose threads, but that's fine. Not a big deal. All right, it's chopstick time. I'm going to go ahead and iron this a little bit too, because it's gotten a little bit wrinkly with all of my folding and whatnot. So I've got my iron back on. Going to give it a quick press, and then get the pillow inside. Okay, that seems good enough to me. So now all that's left to do is open this up very quickly. And in my county, we can recycle these plastic bags as long as they are bagged with other plastic bags. Any plastic bag that has a little bit of a stretch to it is recyclable. But you're going to want to check with your county waste management to see what you can do with this if you get one of these pillows. Oh, man, this thing is on there tight. Come on. Okay. All right. Save that for the recycle bin. And now my pillow could use a little bit of fluffing. This is a good moment to take in that down feather smell if you like it. I love it. I don't know why. Okay. And you can tear your tags off, but I'm a little intimidated to do that. I'm going to leave my tags on. And then you're just going to squish your pillow under the first flat. And then really squish the pillow under the second flat. And I'm trying to get corners, obviously, all the way into the corners. But you know that. I'm just telling you, even though you probably already know that. And just massage it until it's in place. And then pillow cover is done. I could probably do a little more massaging of this pillow, but it feels pretty good. It's ready for my kitchen bench. So soft. Maybe I'll steal it, put it on my bed sometimes. I have another tutorial that shows you how to make another pillow cover for another IKEA pillow. It is the rectangle size, which I will link to right here. And I am also going to be showing off my completed new throw pillow collection for my kitchen benches. So check out my community tab if you want to see how all these pillows look together on my bench. And if you want to show some support for my channel, I'd love for you to check out my channel membership. Just click on the join button underneath this video to learn more.